Hey, happy day 809 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting the journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world of corporate America and businesses, lots of different businesses, to the online world. Today I want to talk about get up and go, playing the field, and everything is ... Everything is, I wanted to say figure outable, but that is Marie Forleo's term. And what's got me thinking about that is because I'm doing the Rise Up Challenge, and she was a guest yesterday. So our homework for today is to talk about a business experience that we've had and that led us to know that we can figure anything out. A personal experience that we had that we didn't think we could figure out, but that we now believe we can figure out. And then our word of the year. Now, I have found that I am spending more mental energy on this other person's challenge and the homework for that than I am on some of my own stuff, some of my own projects. And the reason is I discovered today it's because they're not my people, they're not my group, and so I'm more nervous and more conscious about what I want to share in there, and I'm more reserved about, do I really want to share in there? And I realized this morning it's because they're not my people, and that's what makes me nervous about sharing in that group. And they're asking for all of our most vulnerable, most personal, most heartfelt stories, and it doesn't necessarily feel safe to share that in the group. Now, I'm sure it's safe to share it in the group. What's the worst that can happen, right? Somebody would circulate one of my crazy videos and people would ridicule and make fun of me. So what, right? Who cares? But I think that that's been my hold up and why I am spending so much time and energy actually thinking about the stories and the experiences and what I really do and do not want to share on that. I mean, I put together a whole page of notes today on what I may or may not talk about and they're looking for 2-minute videos. I don't think I've hardly ever made a 2-minute video in my life, so I know that that's not going to happen. But I'm doing the homework, I'm doing the assignments for my own personal development, right? And for my own personal growth. And maybe the truth is that the hardest things for me to share are the stories and the things where I have felt the most vulnerable, where I've felt the most discomfort, and so it's really hard to share those things and those heartfelt things. And okay, let's be honest, that's 100% why it's hard for me to do the homework and it's hard to do the assignments. It's like the Your Life is Waiting workbook from Lynn Grabhorn. It took me almost a year to do that workbook, I believe. It took me definitely months and months and months, because there was one exercise I told myself, because she instructed at the beginning, hey, don't skip any of these exercises, do them in a row, do them as they're laid out in the book. You'll get the most benefit out of it. And I committed at the beginning of that book that I would do that, and I knew there'd be some exercises that were hard, but I hit one that I dead stopped on, and I looked at that exercise every single day for like 2 months and wouldn't do it and couldn't do it and just didn't do it. I just chose every single day for a couple of months not to do it, until one day I said, what the heck am I waiting for? This is stalling out me and my personal progress. I'm just going to do it. I powered through it. It was like less than 10 minutes to do the exercise, but it was the exercise that was the most painful for me. I had to look at things in my life that I had been hiding from to myself and shoving down because they were painful and I didn't want to look at them. And once I did, bam, they cleared up and I flew through the rest of the book and the rest of the exercises and the rest of the things that there were to learn in that book. But my own fear and my own mental blocks were holding me back and not allowing me to do that exercise and share. But it was exactly the exercise I needed. And so as hard and challenging as it is personally to do some of these homework assignments and some of these exercises, and guess what? They're not really physically hard. They're mentally and emotionally and spiritually hard, because they have me, like everyone else, looking back and questioning and saying, okay, well, do I really believe this? What are my values? What is my purpose? What are my principles that this COVID-19 crisis is bringing to light for me? It's showing each and every one of us what are the gaps in all the different areas and aspects of our life, and do I want to fill them or not? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I think about it, one of the biggest areas right now in my life that has gaps is the area of relationships. Now, I understand why that is and why I let myself get to that point and why I've separated myself from people, probably in preparation for this physical separation in part. But I'm seeing that there's gaps in that, and that I need to step out of my comfort zone. I need to rebuild and reestablish and recreate a lot of aspects and areas of my life with respect to relationships. And that's what this is doing. And whenever there's a massive change in any area of our life, or any situation, or something around us happens, it gives us pause to look at, not the cause of it necessarily, but what we're going to do about it now, what we can do about it now. We have to always focus on what we can do and on solutions, not what we've lost or what we can't do anymore. It's like when my dad passed away, there was nothing that was going to bring my dad back, right? So I could feel bad about it forever, and I still get that twinge of, my God, I miss my dad, or I'll have a dream about him, or I miss him every day. But it's not going to do anything to bring him back to think about that I'm a victim and why me and whatever else. It's only going to make me feel bad. So do I want to feel bad, or do I want to feel good? So I focus on all of the lessons I've learned from him, and the memories and the things that I miss, not that I miss, but the things that I appreciate and am grateful for that he was in my life. For like 55 years, right? I had my dad for 55 years. A lot of people can't say that. A lot of people lose a parent or a significant other or a loved one at a much younger age. So I look at all the positives of that experience instead of the negatives. And that's really hard sometimes, right? There are things that have happened in our past. There are things that will continue to happen in our lives that are really, really painful. And when we're going through them, and me included, it doesn't always feel like there's any positives, right? Oh, I've got my alarm going off. And so we need to just take a deep breath, let ourselves feel the things we need to feel, and then work our way through them. The trick is, the important part is to not stay there. Each and every one of us, there's no way we're going to stop feeling doubt, worry, fear, anxiety, pain, depression. We're going to experience those, but it's up to us to decide how long we're going to allow ourselves to experience those. Because there's always something we can do to flip the switch and turn that around so that we're not experiencing it. So playing the field, Get Up and Go challenge. Today just finished day 16 of that amazing challenge. That's my challenge. I am so in awe of the Rise Up Challenge, and to have 40 incredible people all coming together, and that's Pete Vargas's thing, is to teach people and coach them on stage presentation and things. So it's totally amazing, and it makes total sense that they just flipped from being physical events to online virtual events. And it's really more of a summit than it is a challenge. If I look at it, at least in terms of how I define challenges, every day we've got something to do, some action item. We're learning from amazing people in all 7 areas of our life. So in that aspect, because it's every day, is a challenge for people. But for the most part, over 20 days, for the most part, it's really more of a summit structure, which I love. I love the way he's combined the two things. And don't be surprised if in the very near future you see some kind of a summit challenge come from me and the people that I can put together, because there is a way for me to work on my relationships, right? And to move towards something that I want. If I put together a summit challenge, a challenge summit for, I don't know, figure out, I'll ask my customers, I'll ask people what would help them the most right now with respect to a challenge type summit. So did day 16, all about your expertise. What are you awesome at? What could you help people with right now? That was today's challenge. Day 100 of the fun challenge, 365 day, do one fun thing every day challenge. Today was day 100, so that's always really exciting whenever we hit one of those big 100 milestone days, 100, 200, 300, and then of course the last day, 365, is super exciting. But day 100 is a pretty cool day for me. It was all about friendship. Again, relationships keep popping up for me. So I know that's something I personally need to pay attention to. I'm going to do my homework for the Rise Up Challenge next. I need to go and do a couple things since my alarm went off, and then I will pop back to my last video and then spend the day with my amazing 4-year-old granddaughter and work on my challenge, that challenge, the other people that I'm here to serve. If I can help you in any way, if you have any questions, if you're struggling with anything, just ask. Again, I will say this every day till I die. I might not know the answer, but I'm more than happy to help you try to find the person or take the next step in your journey for what it is that you need to do, what it is that you need to accomplish. That's what I do every day. Every day I just do one thing to move me toward what I want, and I encourage you to do the same. Have an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.